Hey, muy buenos dias, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. Bueno, mi gente, first and foremost, thank you guys again for you guys' prayers, wishes, and for your amazing support. I'm really humbled by everyone. And del Cora, muchísimas gracias. Now, to get into the story in hand, today I want to talk about one of the most scandalous battles that, in my opinion, has came out, from being a Billy or from the Emin. We won't talk about Tigre from the avenues. Tigre was just one of those that he thought he was supreme when it came to other members. And of course, camaradas. He used to use camaradas as pawns to his little chess game of conquering the Emin, not ever caring what ended up happening. His favorite phrase was, I never gave that vato the luz. He decided to do it on his own. I don't know what he's talking about. And as you guys know, right after that, Camarada was put on the lista or removed on the spot. Because usually when they're running a make, it's because the person is within reach. But anyways, today I want to talk about a vato that he sacrificed everything in order to please this man in the hopes that he could actually become somebody, which he did. Today, well, I wasn't going to mention his name because I heard down the, I heard from other people, I'll just leave it like that, that Homeboy had some type of resentment against me. Don't know why, as far as I know, we were cool in Tehachapi. We're real cool in Corcoran. When he decided to check in because of fear, I was one of the ones that actually pushed, saying it was a wrong call, that he had done the ultimate sacrifice, as a camarada to be in the spot he was in. But again, I was nobody. I'm nobody. At this time, I was a camarada, and even though I was frontlining it for certain individuals, my word didn't have no meaning. Of course, M business is M's business when it's convenient for what they want. So this is for the ones that think you could actually please these people, do things right, and actually get rewarded and get a pat in the back. This is just how exactly when they're done getting what they want of you, you're gonna get a kick, or should have said a fierro in the back. Cause 1 out of 1,000, just think about that, 1 out of 1,000 will actually know the correct individuals that will put the right feria in this individual's pockets. Most importantly, you have to be a scandalous camarada in the sense where you have to cover up their BS and go along with all their bad calls without no questioning it for you to even be embraced. But anyways, today I want to get into pelon, from Northside Rodando. I met Pelon in Tehachapi the first time. He was my neighbor. He was sold up with Cool Cat. At this time, we had a lot of toricas because this is the time where they had moved me in with a little knucklehead camarada that every celly he had, he bumped heads. So, basically the the BLT had asked me what was the next step to take with the camarada, because again, T wasn't one of those dirty ones. He tried to he tried to rescue a camarada in the sense he didn't like getting rid of them, especially if it was one of those camaradas that wasn't in the mix like that. He was just in the shoe for supporting in a riot or, just doing a sureño thing. So I told them, hey, allow me to get up in there. The homie was Charlie Brown from uh, Corona Heights or something like that. And so I ended up moving in with him. And, as soon as I went in there, I told him, this is your last chance, boo. I'm just going to let you know. You either start behaving on the tier yard, stop bumping heads with camaradas, or you know why I got moved in here. Because he was aware I was frontlining there for the camaradas there. And anyways, needless to say, I ended up having to take care of some and give him a little guajoloteras and I'm not gonna get into the camaradas issue. Let's just say he didn't behave on the yard and something had to be dealt with, in his sense. But in this time, it's when Pelon was there next door to me, and we discussed a lot about his case. And I don't know if everybody knows, but Pelon, he was Tigre's boy. That was Tigre's, I'm not gonna say right hand man, but he was up there, from the streets, from county. Pelon was doing his bidding. He had a lot of juice. So, as you guys are aware, and I'm not gonna touch on because I wasn't in LA County, but Pelon and some other camaradas ended up taking care of a homie from Torrance, and you know, because Pelon was under the assumption that he was going to get live regardless because of the case he was there. So they ended up taking care of what Tigre wanted to get taken care of, which was a bad call, to be sincere. And as you guys are aware, he beat his case, which he was busted for. So he caught live behind following Tigre's orders. And when they were there in Tehachapi, kites went out. And one day we were medical, me and Cool Cat from Azusa, and we were talking, and he was worried in the sense because T and Tio Chino had already got on him, and whoever else he was working for, that they were having discussions with Tigre in regards to the 187 that Pelon had done, and Tigre was pulling back. So this is how much value you being a righteous sureño, camarada, following orders, taking care of business, takes you when it comes to greed. And Tigre, he was always doing moves. At the same time, he was taking care of himself in the sense that if he felt there was something shady there or that something was going to ricochet, you were on your own. As at this time, he had answered that he had not made that call. By this time, everything's hitting the fan when the sense that Tigre is doing. So you guys know, within time, Pelon, he ended up getting blessed. I was glad. I'm not gonna say I was glad, but time came and they came and Pelon did his thing there and they ended up moving him to Corcoran. I stayed behind. Now, when I hit Corcoran, first I was on A yard, and I started hearing how it was real different when it came to Artie, Fox, Boo, all them, the old man from Watts. When it came to letting it go, as T had done in Tehachapi, they kept pushing. At this time, they had already moved on Pelon in the cell. When I got to be validated, they had already moved on Pelon. They had whacked him, they had a silly whack him. But Pelon maintained solid. You know, he didn't go sideways. And he had gotten blessed. Let me clarify that, you know. Here was a member that got him blessed, but other members felt he got blessed under the wrong belief. So they pushed for him. They pushed for him. So again, you know, it don't matter what you sacrifice, where you get to. It matters who you're with when it comes to them. It's all about power, greed, and them. It's like that saying goes, it's just me, 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 me. So, as you guys know, eventually it came around where they were going to permit Pelon to get another celly. Now, this is an individual that I've talked about it. There's a lot of camaradas on that side that shouldn't go on that side. Can you blame them? For example, here's a camarada that has done everything right to the dot, and he stayed solid after getting hit. He was getting ready to start programming again, and the vato that was gonna move in with him, another camarada, high place camarada, he had orders. He had orders that when he went up in that cell to take the loan out, cause again he was Tigre's boy. So you know, at least you know that camarada that was gonna move in with him at least recognized that Pelon wasn't a fake vato. So he told him, when I go up in there, you know my orders. You're smart enough to know what's going on. By this time, Tigre had already been clipped. Everything that he has done came to light. And the last thing the organization was going to do was keep individuals underneath them, right? Because they figured they were going to be as rotten as the Costal, right? So, you know, Pelon did what he did. You know, he dropped the kite and he walked off the tier. Do I agree the way he did it? No. Like I always say when I come on here, is you know, it's all that telling PC stuff, getting on a stand is straight behind. It's not even behind us stuff because I know girls with well said, you know, but this is not the way to go, you know. He should have gone out like a soldado, my opinion. But you know, again, I ain't nobody. Should have waited till the homie came in there and boogied. But you know, he decided to do it that way, and he told, you know, that's a fact. Pelon from Rodando Beach, he told to the point where he had family hurt. I really think is why he came up on here and he was just talking nonsense. He wasn't really putting nothing good out there. Cause you know, his family got touched once already. So I'm pretty sure he didn't want that route to happen again. So he just wanted to make a little something and stay out the way. Again, you know, he was under theater, so he had those habits to see where there's beneficial for him and without having to do anything. But again, you know, again, this is a firme vato in every sense of the word, a soldado. And I'm talking about I had conversations with him where his mind was a warrior. But none of that mattered. So for all those that think you could go up in there and do something, nothing you do matters, man. To start over, if you think you do something on the calles worthy to be like, damn, once you hit inside Charles, you hit the prison, you hit it with a clean sled, you're nobody. What you are is what you do in prison, period. And what can you do in prison to have some value? As you guys can see, you could give your life away and maintain and keep pushing, help camaradas and clecha like Pelon did, and be real humble, respectful. Because Pelon was just one of those, you know, he was a good camarada. Whatever he has against me, he has to understand, you know. I was holding a position there, and If he got angry because I was following that position behind the person that decided to clip him, that had nothing to do with me. He knew what he got himself into by being on the tigre. Number one rule that we're taught, don't be loyal to one individual because you're gonna fall with him. That's what I say here, and it's a perfect example. If you stay with one individual, when he falls, everyone's gonna fall. They ain't gonna look at your CFO. Oh, this guy's worthy to keep. Nah, this fool has to go. You're under him. You're gonna go. It might not happen right now, in a month or two, but once the right Billy gets to where he's at reach with you and real angry at that individual you were under, you're gone. They're gonna clear his whole mess, his whole structure. So the best thing is, stay true to yourself, man. Be smart. Do something out there. Again, I'm not on here to preach in regards to be disloyal to your neighborhood, to your homeboys you grew up with. Nah, love them. Love your family. Most importantly, man, value yourself. There's a lot of people that come on YouTube and tell other people's stories, which is understandable and respectful, right? But my thing is, you gotta have value for yourself. Your person has to be worth it, and you have to make it worth it. That's exactly what you need to do by being somebody, besides a jailbird, being punked by some individuals that all they think about is feria and putting some of that in the reins. Bueno, mi gente, with this said, I'm gonna make it short. Just wanted to put a little story out there. As you guys know, in the next days, I'm gonna go through a procedure, so this will be going out there as others. Thank you guys again for everything. I send my love, my saludos, mis respetos to everyone. Stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones.